So traders, one thing I want to start off with this video here with you is I want to share something with you when it comes to pretty powerful moves and understanding where we are in the market cycle of things and how you can use just this one indicator, which is the 24 moving average, to really help you get a bit of a gauge on what's really going on. Are we about to see another rise in the markets? And to give you the probability of certain things happening. And let me show you what I'm talking about here. Because I've been noticing a few things here across the markets, and I want to give you a few examples of what I'm seeing through here, because I think this is going to really help you out. One of the most important things for me is when I'm looking at the markets, I'm like, okay, the markets are going down right now. Now, they're not right now. I do expect the market to go down. But one thing I want to share with you here is this one simple thing that's going to really help you. So, okay, we're getting a bit of a drop in the market. Say, for example, here, we're getting a drop in the markets right now. We're getting a bit of a rise in the markets right now. But as you can see, look at this back here. All through here, every time we had these drops in the markets, was there something in the market that we can utilize to say this market is now likely to go up? It's likely to, this is just a short-term drop, what they call pullbacks in the markets. Is there something we can utilize to help us understand what is going on through here, right? So if we get a drop through here, because for me personally, I know that as you can see through here, the best trades have been what? With the trend. So the whole thing about the thing that I'm always utilizing, one simple thing that I'm always utilizing, okay, we're getting a drop in these daily charts. Is this what's called just a drop, which is what part of the trend? Is it A, just the part of the trend where we go up, we come down, higher, low, come up, come down, higher, low, come up, right? Because we have to drop here to create the higher low. Drop, higher, low, drop. You see what I'm saying here, right? So just because the market goes down doesn't mean it's the start of a crash. No, the market's just going down because the market going down could just be making the trend up, and then we have another drop. Higher, low, up, come down, higher, low, and so on and so forth. So that's the first thing I'm always looking for. First, I'm looking at the trend analysis, but I'm always trying to say, okay, is this drop we're getting right now, A, just part of the trend, and it's just going to be a short-term pullback? Now, a short-term pullback is what? Is, as you can see, this pullback here, if I measured the days, this one here lasted 22 days, right? So basically a month's worth of down move. This one here lasted same sort of thing, 23 days, and so on and so forth. So sometimes we can get these months of drops in the markets, but one thing I really want to help you out with is how do we identify these being actually a proper move in the market, an actual, just a part of the trend, meaning it's come down to create the high low, and we're likely to bounce and continue up, or what I'm seeing right now is a pretty dangerous territory, and we're probably going to run out of steam, and we see a move to the downside. And that's what I want to share with you at the start of this video. Guys, one thing I do want to start off with is this here, guys, is a free trading course that I'm actually giving away for free, right? This is actually the free course I'm giving you away. Video number 1 is the top 13 mistakes. As you can see, 30-minute video number 2 is about the 7 powerful universal laws. And as you can see, this video here goes for an hour and 11 minutes long. Video number 3 is the top chart reading technique I've been using since the 1950s. I even go back to the 1950s here. Video number 4 and 5 is about the actual, what's called price and time. And I even show you what's called price and time and how do we actually identify what's called price and time moves. And we can even see, example here, you know, actually what gates, right? If we utilize price and time and how we can utilize this to experience big moves. This here is the 4 master trader laws. This video here is about the actual, all the major market crashes. So I've put this course together because I can't do this on a 20-minute YouTube video, right? So there's so many hours worth of content here. And then also I even share with you this video here. Video number 8 is about my number 1 trading system here. So guys, that first thing in the description, make sure you grab free access to that. It's going to really help you out. I promise you guys. So let's actually go back to what I was saying here before. So the reason why I'm bringing this up here right now is because there's so many things across all markets. Well, like Bitcoin's now had a big move up and we're going to all-time new highs. And the one thing that I'm always utilizing is this. Let's actually do this here. Let me see if I can. Let me change the actual layout to just weekly, daily. Actually, you know what? Let's go back to, can we do this side by side? There we go, weekly, daily. Okay, cool. So let's actually do this here. So if we go to the S&P 500, like the ES through here, or just even the S&P 500, okay? If we go, this is the daily to the right, and let's just take off all the moving averages, okay? And this is the weekly to the left. So as we can see through here, we've obviously got this trend line through here. We don't need to worry about that trend line. That's neither here or there. I'm not really worried about that. We've got this trend line here. What I'm doing here is I'm trying to show you how we can utilize this one simple technique to say, we're experiencing a drop on the daily chart. Is this part of the trend or is this the end of the trend? And how we can do that is see my left chart here. This is called the weekly charts, and this green moving average is called the 24 moving average on my chart. And as you can see through here, and I know this sounds really simple now, but this is the one thing I'm always utilizing, and why I actually saw Bitcoin being the start of a move. I actually took a really nice trade on Bitcoin and benefited from this up move coming from this one technique. And what is that? That is, as you can see, if we are making higher lows still on the weekly charts, right? Yes, we come down, but just because the market goes down for 2 or 3 weeks, it's just making the trend, right? Because remember, how is a trend? We know the trend is your friend until the end, right? So how is a trend actually formed? Up, it has to drop a little bit to what? To create the higher low. Up, it has to drop. Up, you get the point. So for me, the weekly chart is always the most powerful thing out there, right? And as you can see, look at this here. So if we look at this back here, we notice that we actually we were flat through here, and then we picked up. This actually had a drop. It was just making another higher low, and all through here, the moving average was trending up, wasn't it? So every time we had this drop, guess what? It was just making the trend, and there's a high probability we're likely to then go back up. Why? Because the green moving average is called a momentum indicator, and if we're getting a pullback, making the trend, it's probably just going to form a higher low and continue back up again. The reason why that's important, because look what's happening right now. The market's actually kinked out, which, by the way, the exact same thing that happened back here. It's actually kinked out, and now we're dropping to the downside. Big, massive rounding top head and shoulder formation. So I'm looking at that through here right now. I'm like, is this just a buy the dip mode, or what's the probability here of having a really good successful trade? So number one thing for you guys, once again, keep an eye on that weekly chart. So the reason why I'm saying that is because if we look at that, this is the S&P 500, right? We can see what's happening through here. Again, forget the trend line here, right? This here is, let me bring this over here for you guys. So try to actually scale it out a bit, right? And so we can see what's happening right now. Same thing for the NASDAQ. Look at this here. All through the NASDAQ, see how the moving average just kept going up and up and up and up and up. Every time we had even this really sharp drop through here, which was this point through here. What was the moving average doing? Still trending up. See that through there? And now through the NASDAQ. The reason why I'm saying this here is that out of all the markets, the US markets have had a nice rise, but we're nowhere near all-time new highs. Now, with what I just taught you, I'm gonna take off the weekly chart, and I'm gonna bring up this here. Why, and this is so cool, guys. This is why I love the stuff that I teach you. And this is something that I'm always teaching my private clients. These simple things that make massive differences in your trading. If you'd like to become part of my private coaching inner circle, second link in the description there, guys, you can apply for that. But look at this here. Why did the US market not make an all-time new high yet, but the German market had a big drop through here, but now we're basically almost at new highs? What is the differences? Now, what did I just teach you a minute ago? The difference is what? The differences is, let's go check the weekly chart and see what the moving average was doing. Was it flat or was it still trending up? Because if the weekly trend is still trending up, do you see what I see? So even though this came down through to here, it's all the same thing, right? Look at this here. So even though we had this big drop to the downside, what was the moving average still doing? Firstly, what's the trend? The trend is what? The trend is up, right? Where's my Dubalaki things? This is amazing stuff in there, guys. This is what I'm telling you right now, guys. And this is where, through my 20 years of trading experience, that's where, when it comes to my actual coaching program, it's There's so much that I can teach you to focus on. And these are the simple things, right? One simple thing. If we're making higher lows and the moving average is still trending up, if we do get a short-term drop like we did here, it's probably going to rebound and come back up to all-time new highs, right? And so it's just, it's amazing, right? It's amazing. So the reason why it's amazing, because as we're getting the drop here, we're not, oh my goodness, the top's in. Now, US market's different, right? US market's doing what? It's flattening out. That's the low point from there. Let me sync and layout. Look at this here. Up, 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 up. Came down. Can we do this here? Oh, this is good stuff, isn't it, guys? I tell you what, guys, I love this stuff so much because it helps me make really good decisions, and ultimately it helps me not get emotionally, because I'm all about staying emotionally calm, and then secondly, getting ready for the next big move, right? So why did this thing actually ricochet back up to all-time new highs? Look at this here. Even forget the trend analysis. What was the moving average doing? The moving average went up. That was the moving average through there. Let's do this here. Let's go green and let's make you thick. Let's sync you now in layout. That was the moving average on the weekly chart. So not only were we making higher lows, and these are what's called significant higher lows, guys. I always like to use the market as a wave indicator. So meaning, like, when I'm looking at the major highs and major lows, we could have these small ones through here, right? Wave up, wave down, wave up, wave down, wave up, wave down, right? I'm always looking at the major ones through there because they're the most important parts. We can get these small little ones, but the major ones on the weekly chart. The weekly chart is king because it gives you identification of, okay, this here is still in a strong upward trend. Now, look at that through there. Now, once again, why is the US market potentially struggling right now? Ooh, do you see what I'm saying here? So even though we actually had a big bounce, why is the German market, the DAX, at all-time new highs? Because we still had that weekly trend is still very strong to the upside. That's the differences, right? And this is the reason why I've always said when it comes to Bitcoin, it's the same terminology, same thing, right? So Bitcoin was been having a drop for a while and so on and so forth, right? Look at Bitcoin. Now, let's go to here. Say it with me. Why? Yes, Bitcoin actually had a few months worth of a drop through here. But why is Bitcoin now breaching and getting very, very close to making an all-time new high again? Why has this had such a strong move from here? Because, again, if you're focusing so much just on this here, oh my goodness, you're not seeing the forest from the trees. What is the forest from the trees? Weekly chart. What am I looking for? Say it with me. Moving average. Ooh. Do you see that? Not only were we making a down and an up significant higher low, down, up, significant higher low, but keep it really simple. And what is the moving average doing? It's still trending up through there. See that through there? It's still going up. So even though we did get a few months worth of drop through here, you're waiting for this thing to be picked back up again and the way we go again. Why? Because this here was just part of the overall big long-term trend. And a lot of traders get so sucked in because a lot of traders are focusing on 1-minute charts and 5-minute charts and hourly charts, and they're okay for short-term analysis. But if you're looking for the really big picture on what's going on, two things I'm always looking for. What is the weekly chart is the major big force, momentum, right? And I'm using that like it's because that's where you want to jump on big moves, go with that massive weekly trend, right? And as you can see, up, down, big move, pull back for a few months or more, big move, pull back for a few months or more, up, pull back. These ones here were sideways. This here was a bit more of a drop through here. So this drop, why are we now picking back up through here? You see the differences. Now again, at the end of the day, as we're coming down through to here, what's the moving average still doing through here? It's still trending up, right? We're not flattening out yet. We're not getting a flattening out period, are we? Look at it through here. The moving average gives you a bit of a story of what's the major trend here. And this is how you can start to utilize this to jump on the next big move, right? The next big move that's not like it'll last a few days. It's like it'll last maybe 2 or 3 months or more, right? Look at this here. We had a drop, but when we dropped down through here, what did the moving average do? We flattened out. So even though we went back up through to here, moving average started flattening out more. And then guess what? Then we started the trend down, didn't we? Now the moving average is trending down. What does that mean? Get ready for maybe more of a down phase because now everything's starting to change. Do you see what I see? Pretty powerful, right, guys? I love it. Absolutely love it. So let me just go now. Let me just give you an update across the actual markets on what's going on here from a market perspective. But that's a really powerful technique that you can utilize, guys, in your trading. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because it helps me see what I'm seeing right now. And not only that, but if you just put on a 52 moving average on your daily charts, that's one of the charts I like to do. Squeeze your charts up as much as possible. I don't care about today. Yes, I can see, oh, look, today was a small doji day. Yes, you can do that, and I'll talk about that in just a minute. But when I'm trying to get the overall flow of the markets, just like I shared with you in the weekly charts, when the moving average is very overall strong trend to the upside, we have a strong trend up. Here, strong trend up, flatten out, we have a very strong trending up. So when the market's very strong trending up, perfect time to be looking for long signals. And same thing through here, right? Again, it's just because it's momentum. Now look what's happening through here. Strong trending on the downside. So not only are we getting that weekly moving average, but we're getting that moving average on the downside through there. And the same thing for all the indices are doing the same thing. And last time this happened, the last time we got a moving average like this, the last time this happened, the market went through a very big correction in the markets. See that through there? So that's through there. Look at this here. Last time this happened, last time this happened, we got this here. Yeah, we do get the rallies, but guess what? Things are changing, right? And now remember, if we go back to this chart here, the weekly chart, remember this is the weekly chart, right? Remember I said before about the big weekly charts? Weekly charts are king. The moving average is telling us something through here. So I don't care what the bumblebees tell me. I'm talking bumblebees. I'm talking about, firstly, the first bumblebee is my thoughts. I think, I hope, bumblebee, my brain. Second bumblebee, comments in the section. Third bumblebee, so-called experts on the YouTubes. Doesn't matter whether it's a Tom Lee or David Hunter or, Warren Buffett, right? It doesn't matter. Those at right this particular time, because I'm a trader, okay? All those threes right now are bumblebees. Now I'm using that from a context of I obviously have a lot of respect for that third bumblebee section, Warren Buffett, David Hunter, Tom Lee. But at the end of the day, as you've experienced many times, even with a professional like Tom Lee and so on and so forth, they don't know as well too. So the number one thing is not all those three bumblebees. Remember, especially the first bumblebee, which is what? Your brain. What you think. Stop thinking. The market's telling us. Every single thing we're looking through right now is, guess what? Is saying that we're probably getting, this rally here is probably going to be very short-lived. Remember I said before about Bitcoin and the German market? Guess what? We had a drop, right? We had a drop, but the moving average, let's change the color through here. Right, the moving average was trending up, wasn't it? So when we do get the drop, we end up then continuing back up, don't we? Because the moving average is trending up. Well, what about the flip side? The flip side is what? When the moving average starts trending down, and we're still trending down, and then we do get a rally, this is a weekly chart here, we end up going back down. Why? Because the moving average is like a momentum that's going to push you back down. Right? It's like you're a surfer. You try to swim against the current, and then the momentum is going to push you back down. See that through there? So we're seeing that from that point through there, and then also this point through here when it comes to the good old stock market from here, and and understanding what's going on there. So get ready, guys. This is a high probability we're about to see. We're probably going. It's going to be a very weak market, I believe, moving into next week. Let's go look at the actual gold and silver from here. Silver, really, guys, look at this here. Moving average flat, right? If we zoom right in here, we're definitely developing, there's actually a major resistance up through there, but right now, as I currently speak, we're definitely developing this type of pattern through here, aren't we? See that through there? Oh, man. It's just, silver's a hard one, isn't it? Look at this here. Silver for the last year, last 1 year, silver's done absolutely nothing. But gold has done an extraordinary bull market, right? That's where gold and silver are not correlated. Look at the facts. One starts in the bottom left and ends in the top right. The other one does nothing. They're definitely not correlated, right? Big bull market in gold, not big market, right? So if you think that they're correlated, and I know some people go, John, you're an idiot. Of course they're correlated, right? And then secondly, then you're going to start to do the game of, well, I'm going to get into silver right now because it's going to play catch up to gold. Don't do that as well too, right? So we're seeing that through there. This is what's happening with silver. I'm seeing silver being a bit more weaker on the downside. And we have this level through here. If we do break the 32 level, we're probably about to see a move down towards the $30 level from there. Let's go look at gold right now. Gold right now, the thing I'm always watching for, guys, is to see what's happening through here. If we can, this is short-term analysis here, right, guys? So check this out. This is where it's going to get really awesome. See this big down candle from here? One thing I've noticed and I utilize is what's called short-term momentum. See this big down candle? This big red candle from here? It says that if the market rallies back up to big candles like that and holds this 50% level, it said that there's a lot of weak momentum on the downside. See that big candle there? Well, guess what happened? Guess what? We had another big candle here recently, didn't we? So check this out. This is where it gets really cool. I'm going to draw from the high down to the low, and look what happened today. You see what happened today? What had happened today? It actually rallied up. See how it opened, didn't it? It opened and it rallied right up to the 60% level of this big candle here. And it's actually closed below here. If we cannot, on a short, this is short-term momentum, guys, right? So what I taught you just at the start of this video, big long-term trends, let it play out, so on and so forth. Now let's go to some short-term momentum stuff here, right? And this is where it gets pretty awesome. If we do close above this 60% level, then we're probably going to make another move to all-time new high. If we cannot close above this high today, and we start to break down through to here like that through there, and we break the low of this level through here, that's very weak. Why? Because now we're going to start to apply some trend analysis. High, that's going to be what? Now a lower high, and now we're breaking down. And if we do break down, then we're probably like to see the next trend line in place, which is this one right here, come down through to here. And once that happens, then this is that. If we do start to get that, and we start to get a break below this low through, like we start to get down to, say, we break below here, that's the end of the big bull market on gold. Because what's probably going to start to happen from there, we're going to come down, we're going to rally up, we'll probably come down sideways, and then we're going to drop down, we'll probably have moved down through, have a bit of a rally, now we make a high, lower high, break back down and come back down to here as well too, bounce and then come back down to here as well. All right, so then now we're starting to do this here. But all starts where we're at right now. What's going to happen? We're going to hold and break, and it happens on this absolute short-term level basis here. Short-term momentum simply says, which is 50% of the bar, we're holding here, right? We're holding here. If we do break down, then we know what we're likely to see in the markets. And while I'm on that, let me actually just go back to the Bitcoin chart. So the Bitcoin right now, guys, is very, 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 very strong. Remember, everything goes in swings as well too. So we've had a very nice, strong bull market to the upside. Why did the buyers come back in through here? Very, 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 very simple. Because on this occasion anyway, is because the moving average was very strong on the upside. Now we're coming up through to here. We've had a very big move up. So now what I'll be looking for is I'll be looking for at least a bit of a pullback through here. But Bitcoin looks amazing. I know some of you guys are going to absolutely love that, right? But Bitcoin looks amazing. Why? We're still in a very strong bull market. So even though through here, we're going through this here, this was part of the overall big bull market, right? It was just having a bit of a drop through to here, right? See what I'm saying? Always focus on the weekly charts. If you're looking at the long-term trend, look at the highs and lows. Are we actually in an upward trend? Check. And what's the moving average still? If we got trend and then the moving average still in our favor like this, there's a high probability very, very soon. And it doesn't happen one day, right? It takes time. It's not, I think some people's like, I want it to happen today, but it takes time for this thing to start to kick back in. But now, guess what? Slow, fast. Slow, fast. So what's probably going to happen through here is, or what you would want to see, is now we're having this level through here, right? Now the good old Bitcoin, major resistance, clone, major resistance, right? And then here. So what we're seeing right now is we're getting this level through here. So what you want to see is you want to see something like this here, right? So we are getting a move up, but we want just a little bit of a pullback. Let the moving average start to kink up through. See my 52. So my 52 is like this through here, right? maybe have like a little bit of a pullback first and do something like that and then break. If we can get something like that, then we're about to see an extraordinary quality move. And where are we likely to go to? Very simple analysis, right? Look at this here. This is actually pretty cool. So if we use the Fibonacci extension, low to high to low of that last one. And where did it go to? See that there? That's a 1-to-1, right? That's a simple 1-to-1. Low to high to low point, as you can see. It ran to 1-to-1, then held. So where's this likely to go to now? Let's do the exact same thing. Let's project to, actually, let's start again. Now we're going to do it on this leg here, right? We're going to do an extension. Down, up, and then down. So the 1-to-1 simply says $130,000. So $130,000, and if it does extend a bit more. But the simple target right now would be a 1-to-1 target. And we could even possibly start to draw some trend lines. And it does look like that's a big, massive trend line coming into play. So X marks the spot, really. So this may take another few more months. But if we see that through there, let's now clone you as well too, right? Da 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 da. There's that next support level, which is absolutely just perfect, as you can see. So X marks the spot, and looking at the time here, looks like that from there to there was the first angle. So that I'm just looking at the angle. See the overall angle. And now we draw it from there to there. It looks like that by possibly around maybe August, maybe September this year, we could actually possibly even start to see that happening through there overall. Good stuff, right, guys? Good stuff. So that's what I'm seeing from there. Let's go now check out the good old oil market from here. Quick little update on oil market. Oil market, guys, is having a bit of a pullback through here. It's something that I was saying in yesterday's video that we may experience that. Right, we may get a little bit of a pullback, and that's exactly what we're getting right now. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see, right, we're actually holding through here. But now what's happening? Now we're starting to get the moving average come down through here, right? We're starting to get the moving average come down. So what would be very, very powerful for me? Again, I'm not in oil right now, guys. I'm not in the energy sector. I haven't got my confirmation. I'm seeing some people already buying put options on the USO market, and that's on your own accord, because I always wait for confirmation. I always wait for my entry signal, and I'm not short right now. And some people are already short, and that's very, very, very dangerous, because one, you're taking a trade off a YouTube video, which you shouldn't. And secondly, you need to wait for confirmation. I needed my confirmation to say now's the time to get involved with it. And I always wait for confirmation, because anything can happen, right? We can hold you and we can go for a big rally. So again, I'm just seeing a few comments. People are like, "Oh, John, I already bought put options on the USO." I'm like, really? Okay. Well, I'm not in the market right now. I'm still waiting for my trading setup. And so therefore we're seeing this through here. But on that occasion, and when we look at these big weekly charts, remember I said before about the moving average, right? What's starting to happen now with the moving average? We're starting to slowly kink down, right? We're starting to slowly go down. So over the next few weeks, what you want to see is you want to see this moving average start to come down like this here, start to get like a bit of steeper. Maybe spend a few weeks doing this here and then get something like that. And then we're probably likely to see a really big move to come in the oil market.